Somewhere behind the Korean battlefront, empty shell cases collected for return to America tell the story of many an intensive bombardment by United Nations forces. Indeed, bombardments by tanks, and here by Canadian gunners, have been effective in blasting the Reds from strong positions. The battle for Bloody Ridge, as one communist position has been named, involved South Korean infantry in some very stiff fighting. Our frontline action pictures include the surrender of several Reds. Having got hold of safe conduct passes, which had been dropped over their lines, they had evidently decided that things were getting too hot for them. The battle went on into the night, with tracers lighting up the dusk and ricocheting all over the place. After many hours of desperate struggle, the South Koreans eventually took the ridge.
State your full name.
David Morris Walters.
What branch of service were you in?
United States Navy.
State your rank.
Entered as an E1. When I left, I was an E4.
What motivated you to join the Navy?
Had to do something after high school, so that was just part of it.
Tell me a little bit about your time in boot camp.
Well, boot camp was a learning experience. You learn how to clean, learn how to fold your laundry, a lot of marching, disciplinary action, a lot of basic training on what fields you go into, service week. The thing called service week is you spend 1 week of your military basic training working in the food galley where all food is prepared and served to the other people in the Navy that have gone through the same thing you're going through.
What was your primary job after training?
After training, my primary job was the recovery of aircraft on an aircraft carrier. That means that when a plane comes in, you land it up there on the top of the deck, and then it's chalked down into place. Chalked down means tied down would come along in chain. And my job was number 3 wire. What's called number 3 wire. There's 4 wires that go across the deck from east to west. And those planes come in and have a tail hook, and they have to catch one of them wires that stops them within a total distance of about 130 feet.
Where did you serve the major part of your time in the service?
It was aboard the USS Midway, CVA-41 aircraft carrier. I got aboard in San Francisco, California, and stayed on it for 18 months, and went to the Philippine Islands during the Vietnam War. When my time was up, we had returned back to the United States in San Francisco, and I was discharged. sent to Memphis and then was discharged.
What rank are you most proud to have earned and why?
Enlisted as an E1, which is at the very bottom, and was discharged at E4, which is a third-class petty officer.
Which medals are you most honored to receive and why?
A Vietnam War veteran.
Tell me about some of your special people you met.
You meet people of all walks of life from everywhere in the United States. Very special thing because you make friends that are from everywhere.
No wallet, just a card in his shirt pocket out here.
That's hard to explain, but you know, you make friends everywhere. I stay still in contact with some today, and they're close friends. They had my back, I had their back.
What was the best and worst Navy food you were served and why?
Navy food is so-so. The best food time was lobster and steak, which you got about once every 3 months. Some of the worst food is when you've been out at sea for 45 days and food supply starts running low, and then you start getting more of the sea ration type food, powdered eggs, powdered milk. Not real great, but it kept you alive.
Isabel was searching for a prince.
Tell me a funny story that you experienced and what could only happen in the Navy.
This is Soho. We use square bases.
Well, there's a thing called pollywogs, or the people that go into the Navy, get aboard a ship.
Paperweights.
Once you go do a tour, you have to cross the equator. When you do that, they take 1 day out of that, and the day you cross the equator, they have a deal they call Shellback Day, which is everybody's on the flight deck, and it's terrible. Get your face rubbed in grease, and just it's a big deal. That shows that you went from pollywog to shellback, and that was one of the highest honors really you could get as far as being enlisted.
How did your military experience affect your life today?
Well, wasn't too proud of it when I first went in, and just wanted to get my time done and get out. Didn't care for it much. But
Black Sheep, she was a freelance writer.
later in life, I realized all the things that I had learned: discipline, race. There is no race in the service. Everybody's your brother. You all work together as a team, and it's just once in a lifetime experience.
Dinner at home.
Dear Lord, let your holy angel be with me, that the evil foe may have no power over me. Into your hands I commend myself, my body, and soul. Amen.
Congratulations on your command.
I'll always be looking for you, Evie. Even if I'm 1,000 miles away.
Air escort to Greyhound. You will now be out of range of air cover for the next 5 days. Safe travels to England. How many crossings does this make?
This is my first.
I got some. Most likely a U-boat. He's trying to slip under us! Fire!
What's your full name?
Eugene Franklin Holmes, Holmes.
What branch of service were you in?
U.S. Navy.
State your rank.
Well, I discharged as ship cook, 2nd class.
What motivated you to join the Navy?
To kill the Japs.
Tell me a little bit about your time in boot camp.
My term in boot camp, I went through boot camp at San Diego, California. After I got out of boot camp, excuse me, I went to Coronado for a landing craft. I didn't like that. So I went to cook and baker and dietitian school, and they had it 52 men in the class, and the person, the one that came out first in cook, or first in dietitian, or first in baking, got the rate, went from seaman 2nd class to 3rd class in the class in school. I came out first in the dietitian and first in cooking, and I got my rate for third cook. And then I went directly overseas to Noumea, New Caledonia. That was the SOPAC Command Headquarters. The Admiral Bull Halsey was the commander, and I worked in the commissary there. We had 10,000 men on the base, basically at all times, and there was a secured harbor. They had the mine, it was all mined in the harbor, and they brought the ships in out of the mines, supply ships and everything. It was the command headquarters. And I eventually worked up and got my 2nd class rate, but I was acting 1st class, and I was in charge of the commissary. And I spent my time there at Noumea, at the base. And then I came back to California, was discharged in California. But I was the youngest sailor during the time of the VJ and VE, the end of the war there. I was there at Noumea. And I was just 19 years old. I wasn't quite 19. I got discharged on the day after my birthday, the day before my birthday, on the 18th of July, 1946, at San Pedro, California.
What rank are you most proud to earn, and why? What rank were you most proud to earn?
I didn't.
What rank were you most proud to earn?
What rank was I most?
Yeah.
I was 2nd cook, 2nd class cook.
Which medals or citizens you were Most honor to receive and why honor?
Well, my SOPAC Command Headquarters in the South Pacific Medal, World War II Medal of the South Pacific. I took my gunnery at Pendleton at the Marine base. I got my medal for sharp shooting, and when I was in the school, we had a drill team, and I got excellency in military drill. I got a medal for that, and outside of that, just my honorary degree, honorary discharge medal. That was all the medals that I got.
Tell me about some of the special people you've met.
Ooh, special people that I met. Well, I met Mrs. Roosevelt and President Roosevelt's wife there on the island. I met Jackie Cooper, who was a movie star, young movie star. Met the Admiral, Bull Halsey, which was I don't know of any other special people that I met. Met a lot of officers and a lot of the chief petty officers.
What was the best and worst Navy food you were served and why? Some of the best and worst Navy food you've been served and why?
The best and the worst in the Navy?
Yeah.
I enjoyed all of it. I enjoyed all of it during the war, when the war was going on. I mean, I felt that I was a part of it and doing my job good. But after the war was over with, man, I didn't want no part of it. I was ready to get out. But we were stranded on the island. They couldn't get enough ships to get the boys home. I had my point. They rotated on a point system, and I'd had my points in a long time before to come home. But we stuck there on the island and couldn't get home. And the joke that was made about after the war was going Asiatic. That was a military joke, because a lot of the guys started drinking a lot, and a lot of them went off the bad side. I thought I was going to get killed, closer to getting killed after the war was over with than I did when I was in there, just because the guys broke in their armories and shot up the place and everything. But I didn't, so everything was all right. But I was ready to come home, and they wanted me to ship over because there was a shortage of cooks. And man, I wasn't no way I was going to ship over. I'd had all of it I wanted, but I thoroughly enjoyed when I was there.
Tell me some funny stories you experienced and that could only happen in the Navy.
Funny story? Well, it was a different world to live in, and a different. The old way was, there was saying in the Navy was, there's three ways of doing things: the right way, the wrong way, and the Navy way. And it was a total difference in living. I met a lot of interesting people, made a lot of lifelong friends. I helped form a band off. They took all the admiral took the Navy band when he left the command headquarters. He went on his flight ship. He took the Navy band with him, and they didn't have any music at the officers club, and I formed a band with the enlisted men, a bunch of cooks and bakers, and we played over at the officers clubs, played music at nights on weekends for the officers club. That was interesting. And
how did your Navy experience affect your life today? How did the Navy affect your life?
Affect me today? It was a good experience. I mean, you met different people from all over the world, and got to socialize. And up until 15, 20 years ago, I kept in contact with several of them, the boys that I was in there with. Chuck Canar from Decatur, Illinois, a young man down in Alexandria, Louisiana, and contacted him, kept in touch with him. Not too many others. I didn't, you know. I left California and came back to Arkansas. So, and went to school. The one thing that had affected my life was I went to school in the GI Bill. And I also went to work. I took a college class, and then I trained with Remington Rand, Office Machine Equipment Company, under the GI Bill. I finished school under the GI Bill, and I bought my home under the GI Bill, my first home. I bought with the GI Bill. That was a good thing.